Hi everybody, Matt Bernie here, taking a look at some stakes action from Keeneland Racecourse on Sunday afternoon. Race number 7 is the Grade 3 Beaumont for 3-year-old fillies, going over the Beard course at about 7.5 furlongs. Before we dive into the field, I'd encourage you to head over to DRF Bets, sign up for a new DRF Bets account. Go over to drf.com/join and use the promo code TV150. You'll immediately get a $150 sign-up bonus that you can play races like this, the Grade 3 Beaumont. Let's take a look at the field, and we'll take them right in post position order. This is a good group of 3-year-old fillies assembled, some of them coming off of long layoffs, some of them making their second start of the form cycle, second start of their career. No matter what, a lot of talent in here, and this could be the beginning to some big things down the road. You've got races like the 8 Bells at Churchill Downs on Derby weekend. You've got races like the Grade 1 Acorn, a one-turn mile up at Belmont Park. So a number of interesting things could be coming here. This could be the starting off point to bigger and better things down the road. The number 1 is Happy Like a Fool for Wesley Ward. 2 for 2 on dirt, 0 for 2 on turf. He shipped her over to Europe, and she didn't run poorly in the Queen Mary Stakes. She was second in a field of 23, but she came back to disappoint a little bit in a Group 2 at York in August. Came back here and won the Grade 3 Matron at Belmont Park on October the 15th. I thought it was a very, very impressive effort, and if you think that she takes that natural progression from 2 to 3, and the distance we know isn't a problem for her, I think she's a prime contender in here. For what it's worth, the horse that she pounded in that Matron, Take Charge Paula, we know what she's turned into down at Gulfstream Park over the winter. She's a nice filly. She may not be a world beater, but it at least shows you that the form of that race has held up a little bit. The rest of the horses, iffy at best, but Take Charge Paula, we know what she is. Happy Like a Fool, I think, is a legitimate contender in this race. The number 2, Kelly's Humor, goes out for Brad Cox. First things first, let's take a look at this wild formulator fact for Brad Cox and the number 2, Kelly's Humor. Over the past 2 years, blinkers switched to off for Brad Cox. 15 for 24, 20 of them in the money with a 359 ROI. You're batting over 50% with this move for Cox over the past 2 years. She's turning back in distance. The last time she sprinted, she was a winner in the Ellis Park Debutante. She had a crazy pace set up that day, and she was the one coming from off of it. So she had a lot of things go her way. The 3 subsequent starts, all going 2 turns, a little bit lackluster, just disappointing efforts. Blinkers come off, turn back in distance. Off the long layoff, who knows what we'll get. But, again, you've got that major positive formulator fact in your corner if you do like this horse for Brad Cox. The number 3, Dream It Is for Barb Minshall. This is a horse that was visually very, very impressive in her 2-year-old campaign. The problem is it ended 3rd week in July when she won the Schuylerville up on opening day at Saratoga. This is a filly that I was concerned going into a race like that, one, about the ability to handle the dirt, but more importantly, she hadn't changed leads in either of her first 2 starts. She never changed leads in the Schuylerville, and now she's been gone for this long amount of time. I think that she's a legitimate horse. I think there's a ton of talent in here. Highest last out buyer in the field with an 89. The problem is, what are you going to get off the layoff, and does the pace situation do her in? Let's take a look at the Timeform US Pace Projector. You can see that red bar that indicates that they believe it is going to be a fast pace, and it may be helping horses coming from slightly off of it. Unfortunately, if you like Dream It Is, she's not that far behind. The number 4 horse, Uppercut. Uppercut looks to be the one that could be carving out the fractions. Dream It Is will be close. I suppose you can look at that one of 2 ways. If you think Dream It Is ready to go off the long layoff, she could inherit this thing if for some reason Uppercut comes back to her. If they throw it down and the pace is hot, boy, you got to wonder if that long layoff is going to eventually get to her. I think she's talented, but I wouldn't want anything too short on her. Dream It Is 3-1 on the morning line. The number 4 is Uppercut for Peter Urton. Visually very impressive, breaking the maiden in the career debut at Santa Anita on February the 17th. 81 buyer, is competitive. Timeform US gave her a very, very nice figure. I thought it was a good effort, all things considered. Very, very sharp. Went out to the front, took a little bit of heat on the far turn. I love the way that she extended down the lane. She galloped out pretty well, too, so there's a part of me that wonders if ultimately she could stretch a little bit farther. You see Discreet Cat on top. That makes you a little bit leery about distance. But here, about 7 furlongs, I don't think it's going to be a problem. The question is, do you think this is a little bit too much too soon, or do you think that she can handle this hike in class? 4-1 to me seems a little bit light. I would want her to float up a little bit from there. The number 5 is Gas Station Sushi, another horse coming in from the West Coast. This one for Richard Baltus, another impressive winner in the career debut. This was back at Del Mar on August the 6th. Went out there and won by 3.5 lengths as the even money favorite come post time. The Dam was a stakes winner, graded stakes placed. The big concern I have with Gas Station Sushi, won the layoff, as we talked about with Dream It Is as well. But the field that she beat back at Del Mar on the 6th of August, it's come back on the weak side. I know Broom, the runner-up, earned a 78 buyer in the next start, but the rest of the also-rans, they just have not really picked their feet up or turned into anything. This is a horse that I want to see. Is she as good as she was when we saw her break her maiden in that career debut? The number 6 is Upset Brewing for Buff Bradley. If you like turnbacks, this is an example for you. 1 for 6 lifetime, 7 times second or third. That always is a little bit of a concern to me, but if you think that Timeform US pace projector is accurate and you think they're going to throw it down early, things could set up very nicely for Upset Brewing coming from off the pace. Worth noting, last time she went 7/8, or one of the times anyway that she went 7/8, going back to her 2-year-old campaign, she ran second in that Ellis Park debutante in behind Kelly's Humor, ahead of Sunny Skies, who we'll talk about momentarily. The 7 is Summer Sunday for Stuart Simon. We have a negative formulator fact for Stuart Simon. Over the past 5 years, 180-day layoff or greater, 2 for 35 with a 169 ROI. This horse hasn't done anything wrong in 3 lifetime starts. A perfect 3 for 3, won by open lengths on 2 different occasions. The concern, as I've said with a number of these horses, long layoff. Haven't seen her since the end of August. And also the pace situation. She's been forward in all 3 of those starts. She's going to see some pace that she's never seen in her life before. The Dam was a multiple stakes winner. She's a half to Trini Brunette. This horse is stakes winner. She was very precocious. I believe 2 for 3 as a 2-year-old. So there are some positives, but at the same time, first time on a dirt surface, first time off of a long layoff, other pace signed on. To the outside, I'd like to think that they're going to sit and try to see if she can pass, but I don't want to find out at what could be a middling number, particularly if you believe that 6-1 morning line. I would need her to float up in a significant way to consider playing her. The 8 is Sunny Skies for Kenny McPeak. Second start off the layoff. Didn't think she did a heck of a lot of running in that return effort. That was in the Devona Dale down at Gulfstream. If you believe maybe going 3 starts back to the Pocahontas, she's got a puncher's chance, or even that Ellis Park debutante where she ran 3rd and behind Upset Brewing and Kelly's Humor, I suppose. But so far, she's leaving a little bit to be desired for me. I don't love her chances in here. Then the number 9 is In the Moon. This is a horse that, as far as the dirt form is concerned, not a heck of a lot of it to be too positive about from a speed figure standpoint. Needs to step up considerably. I don't think there's any coincidence that this one jumped up since they moved her over to the synthetic surface. She's 2 for 3, and she's 3 for 3 in the exacta. I wonder if that ultimately is going to be her game. But another horse on the turnback. If you think they go fast early on, perhaps she can take advantage. Let's take a look and see where I'm going to land in the Grade 3 Beaumont at Keeneland on Sunday. Going right down to the inside with Wesley Ward, the number 1, Happy Like a Fool. I like the fact that she showed that ability to sit just off when she won that matron. She's going to need to be ready to go off the layoff. We'll find out. It's a question for a number of these girls in this race, though. And I really do believe if they line up, let's say the 3 Dream It Is goes, let's say Uppercut goes, let's say Gas Station Sushi goes, I think Happy Like a Fool is going to be able to sit in just behind Tyler Gaffalione if she can just get eased. If he can ease her right out into the clear as they get into the far turn, I think she's going to be in very, very good position. If she's good enough, I think she'll have every opportunity to get the job done. I'll go 1, 4, 3, 2 in the 7th at Keeneland on Sunday afternoon. Again, if you're playing the 7th at Keeneland, or any races for that matter, DRF Bets is the only way to do it. Head over to drf.com/join. Promo code is TV150. You'll get a $150 sign-up bonus. Again, drf.com/join. TV150 is the promo code. Good luck if you play the 7th at Keeneland on Sunday.